And we got Cam Ward leading the quarterbacks. We've got a bit of a battle for the number 2 spot, which, as long as Cam Ward is upright and able, and that's the goal, of course, then that number 2 position is more about development and just making sure that that guy is ready at any point. So size up the quarterback room. I can't imagine that there's anything too shocking about what Cam Ward's doing in practice, but maybe that number 2 spot could be a little intriguing and how that's shaking out.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously for the quarterback position, you get a guy like Cam Ward, right? Everything that he is, what you've heard is exactly what's been happening throughout fall camp. So that's the great thing. Cam Ward is being Cam Ward, preseason Heisman candidate, and every quarterback award you could think of for a reason. And he's showing it. He's got a lot of Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers type of vibe to him when he's on the football field. He's making remarkable throws that only the wide receiver can get the ball. You've seen little clips throughout fall camp so far where even some of the defensive backs are like mind blown with some of these throws that he's making, to where it's like, hey man, you can't do anything about it. That's just who Cam Ward is, right? And we've never had a quarterback like that. And I would say, at least in my time being alive, I'm 31 years old, and I can't remember us having a quarterback with all the tools, charisma, and just the moxie and what he does on and off the football field like we have with Cam Ward this year. So I mean, it's pretty obvious. All the media is behind this football team for a big time reason because of Cam Ward. Cam Ward, declined a second to third round possible draft pick in the NFL, came back, decided to come to Miami for one reason only, and that's to prove that he can be the first quarterback in that draft, and he believes he can be that. And in order for Miami to be as great as we hope we can be this year, it's going to be on Cam Ward. But that second position, Mark, is very interesting, right? Because I think when you rewind this last season, there was a plan that was in place, right? And I'm talking about Jakari Brown before he obviously transferred to UCF. There was a plan in place before last year, and Jakari, came out and said it as well. And the plan was to redshirt, right? Where we're going to let you redshirt this year and have you develop. Well, it seems like a plan like that is kind of in place this year when it comes to Emory Williams. When I bring up Emory Williams, this is a guy, true freshman last year, that came in and crunch opportunities after TVD struggled, came into that Florida State game and really did some damage. And also what he did against Clemson. This was a young man as a true freshman that got in there right away. Wasn't nothing crazy, but he did his job. And I think with as much talent that we had last year, and we've added even more talent, we'll break down each position group, but it's night and day with the position groups of what we had last year to this year. And if Emory Williams could just be what he was last year, which I expect him to be a little bit better another year in the program, he can be just a floor general, and we can get by and still be where we want to be this year. Are we going to reach our ceiling with someone like Emory Williams or Reese Poffenberger or Judd? Probably not, right? Cam Ward is our guy. But that QB2 will be interesting, and I think Reese Poffenberger probably will get the QB2 nod. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Emory Williams has to get in there if something drastic happens. But I think the overall plan is for Emory Williams to probably redshirt this year if possible. And I have been hearing a lot of good things with incoming freshman Judd Anderson as well throughout fall camp. Young man is 6'7", quarterback, played a lot of basketball and football, so he's a dual athlete, can use his legs very well. And him being tall, having a big offensive line, he's able to see over that offensive line and really has been doing a great job going in through his progressions and making some very good throws. So Judd Anderson, probably out of all the guys besides Cam Ward, I have heard the most, positive buzz and just, hey, this guy is really making a lot of positive strides. But overall, I would say that QB2 job is probably Reese's at the moment. But if we get into a crunch situation or we just really need that guy to really just solidify and do his job, I wouldn't be surprised if Emory Williams jumps in there.
And I got to think, if nothing else, Emory Williams gained a ton of equity and credibility in that locker room with the way he performed against Florida State, stepping into a difficult situation, hostile environment, top flight defense, putting his body on the line, not just at the obvious place at the ball game that knocked him out, but throughout that game, he was all over the field making plays and doing everything he could, and just proved to be a baller and a leader on that night.